Ganon's tower to find that Cane of Samaria. Yeah. Oh well, here we go. We are off,
and we are underway. And Uncle does not have a sword with him, so we know we're not getting a sword from the Uncle. Let's see what's in the chest number 1. Oh, 3 bombs. That's going to be interesting. Might be a bad moment if we end up getting bombs from the Uncle, because that's one last thing. That's going to be a wasted 3 bombs.
Oh, well, let's just hope we don't get bombs from the Uncle, and that it's a good boon for both of these people.
Yeah, in that case, they don't really have to worry about getting anything for the back 3 of Escape. So let's go ahead and see what ends up happening here. Once again, GFE, if he wins, that eliminates Zyrak. Zyrak in chat, rooting on their opponent. And he did have a sword. I didn't see him walk out with one, so that Uncle fooled me.
Fooled me also. Oh, hey, and
an 8 bomb drop on the floor for Tstew, whereas GFE did not get that 8 bombs, but that really doesn't matter at this point. We already have bombs.
And with it being on the prize pack, we'll probably see him pick somewhere along the way here.
Yeah, we'll probably be seeing it coming up at some point in time, but GFE doesn't really have much of a reason to go ahead and kill things. So go ahead and get Zelda. We're going to bring her over towards the sanctuary, the same and usual thing that happens anytime you do a standard mode here. So let's use this time to talk about what we would like to see. What do you think is going to be that go mode, Clifford?
Well, since it's all dungeons, you know, I'll go with that Cane of Samaria, like I said.
I'm going to disagree with you. Ice Rod in Moldorm 2.
Oh, that's mean.
It's totally mean, because then you got to go back up the mountain. You have to choose whether or not you're going to go all the way to Aga 2 and then have to back your way.
At least at that point, we know we'd have flute, so
yeah, it doesn't make that walk any worse at that point. Nice kill for both of these runners here. They're using some training they've gotten along the way to go ahead and dispatch of these guards. 1 bomb drop on the floor, and GFE is going to go ahead and pick that up. So next up with the ball and chain guard, that's going to be probably the more stressful part of this escape sequence.
Yeah, ball and chain guard can definitely hurt, but you can get some pots here, and just 2 pots will destroy, or 1 pot and 4 slashes.
Both runners taking a hit, and GFE, as I mentioned before, gonna have to be careful, but he does tackle him down. And there's a second sword inside that chest, and that makes you think an early Aga play. Now, don't forget, in all dungeons, you do have to do Aga 1, regardless.
Yes, you do. It is one of the dungeons that you have to get. He is a boss in his own right. A very boring and easy to kill boss.
So GFE's dealing with beeping strats as Tstew makes his way around. GFE with the correct lead of about 5 or 10 seconds at this point. Doesn't really matter, because things are going to start getting interesting once we break free of Kakariko Village.
Yeah, in the escape, pretty much just whatever. And just want to get through it and try not to die, and just get your bearings, get your feel for playing the game. Back in the groove.
Understand how the controller's feeling at this point.
Indeed. Know what you're getting, what you're not getting with your button press. Not that you can really try like spin speed or anything without the boots, but maybe we'll find some boots here soon.
We do know that the next chest that is opened by both of these runners is going to contain a small key, because you need to have that in order to progress the remainder of this escape.
Yeah, otherwise we'd just be stuck. Can you imagine if it was the lamp and we had to take Zelda to Aga? No, that can't happen. But it would be... take her up, and then she warps onto the thing and then gets sent to the crystal. It would be perfect. Oh, with the sword beams, that's a nice strat from GFE, taking out the key rat.
And so therefore we get to see what the back 3 of Escape is. We've already seen the map, so 3 unique items coming up. Well, I don't know if we can really call them unique, but that hammer is...
Hammer's definitely a unique item. It's unique in the fact that you can hammer pegs down with it. No other item will let you do that.
So GFE's finds the 8 bombs, ends up leaving behind, probably wishes that they did grab them, but it doesn't really matter at this point. A 557 escape, pretty nice for GFE and Tstew with a 603 out of the escape. Getting rewarded with a piece of heart, Clifford.
Not quite the same card, but almost. Just a piece of it. You find 4 pieces of the same card, and you'll get a heart.
There's our map check. We do have a blue pendant over a desert, 2 crystals, 7 and 2, Hera 7, Eastern is 2.
All right, so that means that all the fun things are in the Dark World.
Well, all the fun things are always in the Dark World. What are you talking about?
Generally.
GFE has been trying to debate whether or not he wants to grab that 20 rupee that fell on the floor, and had decided it twice, doubled back, and decided, nope, not going to go ahead and do this. So this is definitely an Aga seed, but it's just for a bottle in the tree.
Ooh, that bottle could lead to something with the sick kid.
Yeah, but anytime I play this game, you see that bottle there, you get a little anxious, but then you finally find a bottle over at the Ice Rod Cave, and that removes all the fear.
Or even in the well. I've seen it in the well. Like, oh, yeah, okay, I guess we'll get that bottle eventually, maybe. Probably not. Both runners grabbing the red rupees.
Yeah, because you definitely need them for Kakariko Village. That bottle vendor is not going to be end up getting anything. The bottle vendor is not going to be giving you free merchandise.
Oh no, he's not running a charity.
Yeah, he tells you that.
If you want charity, the guy living under the bridge, he's got charity.
Alright, so Kakariko Village. 3 bombs for GFE, 9 bombs for Tstew. Let's see what we find. Yeah, 3 bombs is perfectly perfect. Let's see what we have inside Blind's hut today. Clifford, what are those?
I mean, there's going to be bombs down here because it's V30. Oh, blue mail. Blue mail's a little better than some bombs. The hook shot. That's the hook shot and the hammer. We just need to way up to Hera, and we can, or way up to the mountain, and we can get all the way up. Oh, and some money in the back. So
I didn't see any bombs, Clifford.
No, it wasn't bombs. I don't know.
Most
of the time, you'll see a bomb.
Your prediction bombed.
No. Much like that joke.
Haha. Well, they're on the well.
Hey,
there's your bombs.
There they are. Right where they're supposed to be. Right,
there's that bottle.
There's the bottle, too. Right where, there we go. And the way up Death Mountain, everything is coming together right there.
Yep. And by logic, you still need 1 more item to get up to the mountain.
Yeah, but logic, we don't need logic. Where we're going, we don't need logic.
Where we're going, we don't need boots.
Don't say that. We always need boots.
Why?
Because they make the game fun. They let you bonk into things.
How about a tempered sword 9 minutes in? 10 minutes in?
Is it 18? What is happening? I'll take it. I love early tempered sword.
Well, yeah, it definitely gives you that competitive feel. Here we go. Kid! That gives us a little piece of his love.
Between the sick kid and the tavern, there's some health to go with the offense.
GFE is going to go get 100 rupees from the bottle vendor. Oh, the bee's going towards the weather vane. Come on, there we go for the 100 rupees.
There we go. That's always good to see. It's always good to see. I love the beat.
All right, the boot's going to be required, and not for that piece of heart.
I mean, that's a piece of the sank heart. We want that, right? We have to put the sank heart back together, guys.
If you say so. Let's see if we have to go racing, boys. Not for those 20 rupees.
Nope. Don't need those 20 rupees. Already spent a little bit of money.
Tstew heading towards the swamp, and GFE is going to probably be doing the same thing at this point. At what point would you diverge from this path?
I would be on Death Mountain right now.
So you would do the
100%.
sequence break to go up the mountain?
Yes, 100%. I don't like to sequence break Hera without fire, but in this situation, I would totally want to be getting everything up on the mountain.
So you think the weight of what's on the mountain is very, very more important. We do find out the Sun Prize Pack is 20 rupees.
That's important.
There's 20 more rupees. Tstew is not going to go pick that up. He's got Mini Moldorm Cave to head to.
And the mini Moldorms, they're much easier with the hook shot, but still, tempered sword also makes it pretty quick workup.
And that is tackled. Tstew is going to find out the 5 items inside the Mini Moldorm Cave. Start from the left, we get ourselves the Cane of Samaria. Sorry, Clifford. 3 bombs, heart container. That's the sink heart. And 10 arrows and also the red rupee. So no Cane of Samaria going to be go mode this time around, but the path continues.
Indeed it does. And there's the cane for GF. And also the sank heart, even though full health, you wouldn't notice.
Now, one thing I've noticed from Tstew, he is not using the hook shot to at least try to move around a little faster. It doesn't make a huge difference, but sometimes seconds can be saved by use of that hook shot.
The hook shot's great for overworld move.
Another heart container. GFE is still loading up his bank account. Could we see an early Zora play possible from GFE? Who knows? He is definitely saving up those rupees, knowing that the 20 is the drop.
I think that's likely what we're going to see, is a fake flipper up to Zora from here.
And the shovel is on the island. Ooh, that's interesting.
That is interesting. Still need a couple of items to get there, so that'll be interesting to route in.
Tstew's going to go ahead and visit Sahashwala. Check out those 3 items in the back, and we'll make our way over to our first dungeon. We can't beat it just yet, but going to at least try to get what we can inside of East. Starting to run out of locations here. Green Panda is Swamp.
Okay.
And there's the lamp.
And now we're going to see the mountain play for sure.
Yep, and that's exactly where Tstew is heading as GFE tries to set up the fake flippers, having a little trouble getting it settled, so you're seeing a bunch of screen transitions. I think no, he doesn't have it this time around. Now he does. There we go. So we do have a way to get to the Tower of Hera. We do have a way to beat it. It is guaranteed that we can finish this off. What GFE is doing is a sequence break. You do not need to do something like the fake flippers in order to beat a seed. But maybe if GFE finds something amazing up here, maybe it's going to help him out in his cause. We don't know. It's too early to tell. That's not going to help.
That helps with lots of things. I don't know what you're talking about. That makes your menu about 1,000,000 times more consistent. And that alone is worth a ton.
If you say so.
I mean, it's not the red boomerang. The red boomerang is useful outside of the menu applications.
If you say so.
All right, so gonna have to freeze a couple of more things here to have money.
Yeah, he needs to just stun 2 more Zoras and he'll have it. 3 bombs there, and you're gonna see Tstew jump on down into Spectacle Rock. So we're gonna get our first hint in just a moment. And that's the only reason why we're going to see Tstew not check to see what's on the ledge, because in V30, these hint tiles, they will help you. That piece of heart, not necessarily what he's up here for. He wants this hint. And the hint is a piece of heart. Is in a chest requiring a specialist to unlock. So we know the purple chest. Not going to see the daylight today.
That's one of those really good hints to find, because it saves you lots of time for a really out-of-the-way location. Even though the piece of heart wasn't super great information.
There is a heart container. That is not worth 500 rupees. GFE needs to go where Tstew is right now. Because how many items can you get up here? It's something like, what, 8 items plus the 2 that are in the Tower of Hera?
Plus the 3 that you can get from the old man and the Spectacle Rock. It's a lot of.
Looks like GFE's going to do the sequence break here. Now this could come back to harm GFE if it turns out that the lamp is required in the Tower of Hera. That's going to be doubling back.
Yes, it could be bad. But there's so much value up there. I would be doing this. I would have already done this. Like,
at least he's going to get partial refund on that Zora purchase. Magic powder, which is interesting. That is in logic.
Yes, we now have the magic bat in logic.
Nice maneuvering through the dark rooms, gets the old man free, and will get his 20 rupee reward. GFE is going to go ahead and get that hint about the purple chest as well. So Tstew's next stop is going to be the Tower of Hera. If the big key is downstairs, that's bad news for GFE.
If a unique required item is downstairs,
that's
also bad.
Also, yeah. Because GFE's going to gamble that, and it's not going to return until absolutely needs to.
Well, let's see. Let's see what we have here. Well, we have an item, so we know that.
Yeah, that's 20 rupees. GFE's trying the bomb jump right now, but fails that. And it's just going to do the save and quit. And some arrows are in Mimic's cave. We're not going to be seeing that. Big key is in the lobby, so it's going to be a dungeon that GFE is going to be able to beat. The question is item number 2 downstairs?
I would hope not for GFE.
And if it is downstairs, for GFE sakes, let's hope that it's something like rupees, something that's not necessary. But either way, we are going to get both items out of it.
Yep, we're gonna see. Tstew will get the. Hey, there's the second
That's it
item.
right there. Map needs fire in the Tower of Hera.
That's
Well, if you didn't find both of the items, that would be relief for GFE.
That's such a good hint. Right exactly where it needs to be. Immediately after finding everything else.
All right, Moldorm.
Moldorm with Timbered Sword.
Play. Don't get metal hold. Doesn't. There we go. Moldorm down. Tstew gets her first crystal of the sea.
And there's the powder on GFE side.
Where is the next progression here, Clifford?
At the bat.
You think the bat. You've been telling these runners to go up to the mountain.
Bat has
they
the
get
moon
the
pearl.
powder. I'm sorry?
The bat's gonna have the moon pearl. That's how these things work, right?
That's possible.
But first, we're gonna get to take a long walk in circles. Around and around we go.
Around and around Tstew goes. Where he stops, well, Tstew seems to know. We don't know what's going to be downstairs, but we do know that Tstew is still spinning around and around like a dig dogger in that first Zelda game. The item. Just some tiny bits of love. GFE is going to breathe a sigh of relief. Big key in that chest. He can continue up the tower.
That's a huge sigh of relief for GFE. Alright, we're going to see an Eastern Palace dip from Tstew, it looks like.
We are down to 3 options at this point, Clifford. 3 options.
And this one has the most items.
That's right. Well, 3 or 4, I should say. One being at Aghanim, the furthest out of the way. The other ones being here in Eastern. And the GFE, after picking up the second item, does get about that hint about the map. So we head to Eastern. Let's find out what's inside, shall we? Do you, at this point, pull the trigger on the Aga play? We got ourselves a tempered sword. We had the lamp.
Without the moon pearl, probably not. The last time I did something like that, bad things happened to me, and I got knocked out of the 2v2 tournament.
Could be like last night's Open, where it turned out to be on the pyramid. Tstew finding a map inside the first chapter. Where does chat think this moon pearl is?
I see an Eastern Palace, possible. Not like there's that many options. Eastern Palace has the flute and the mitts, and then we go get it at Checkerboard Cave, right? That's the play. I can think of scenarios.
We can think of the scenarios. We're commentators.
It's our job. But no, it can't be at those places because it's at the Magic Bat. We know this already.
Oh, that's right. That is another item we can check.
Oh, and a compass. All the dungeon items so far.
A unique item is in Mini Moldorm Cave. You don't say. There's bombs. So 1 chest remaining here in Eastern.
And it's in logic because of the lamp. And GFE's also coming over to the east side. We'll be getting that lamp.
Yep, he will be visiting Sahasra the First. And Tstew finding out the stun prize pack of 20 rupees as well. So GFE's about to get his lamp, so everything he did up on the Tower of Hera and Death Mountain now back in logic.
It's always a good feeling to be back in logic.
Okay, big chest or big key chest. 20 rupees. This is not the answer.
We're seeing the Sanctuary play. We'll check the bat first.
Yeah, he's heading to town. Tstew is heading to the magic bat. He is trying to figure out what the next chain in this logic is. Trying to read the logic. And while he's doing that, he's probably humming the Batman.
Do. No, that's the Mario Underground theme. I was doing it wrong.
Well, it's probably best that we do not try to do the Batman theme. Otherwise, this stream will be muted due to copyright restrictions.
Yeah, Nintendo's letting that slide right now, right? Yeah, that's fine. Mario Underground's good.
Magic Bat! What do you have for us? Do you have something good? Or are you telling us to go visit Aghanim? He has Moon Pearl! You were...
Ooh. There it is. We have Dark World access. 27 minutes in.
And the first time for Tstew is going to be to the Hype Cave. Can we get some hype?
Hype.
I don't feel the hype.
I mean, it's not inverted. I don't know how hype it can really be. All right, there we go. Map hype is that Thieves tell. We know that. That's important.
Come on, I'm still not feeling the hype. Come on, here we go! 5 items inside here. That's
5 blue
rupees.
Excellent.
That's green rupee. That's 10 arrows. That's the Titan's Mitt. And red rupee.
Are worth and very hype, and now set the route up so nicely. You can just go to the left all the way to the village. That's super hype. Tstew's very happy to see that. You can tell. Meanwhile, GFE about to get the last item that's available in Eastern.
And GFE will be down to the same options at this point in time. Either head on over towards the Bat Cave or Aghanim. Bombs that stun. He too is choosing the Sanctuary.
It makes sense. It's locked by other items that are locked by other items. It makes sense in the chain.
Let's go digging, Clifford. How many digs do you think it's going to be? 1 to 30. How many digs do you think it's going to be, Clifford? I'm going to say 18.
We'll say 9.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still no. 7, 8, 9. No. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Come on, item. 16, 17, please. 19. Nope. 20, 21, 22, 23. Nope. 23. There we go. Fire rod. That's a nice.
It's a good thing to find in your first attempt at the D. That even sets the route up even more, because now you just end at Skull Woods, and it's like it's beautiful.
And there's the Moon Pearl pickup for GFE. He is not saving and quitting, so it looks like he's going to head on over here to start his Dark World exploration. That may end up costing him a little time routing-wise.
It's definitely possible. I see a lot of people going up this way to start their Dark World, so you know it's a pretty good play. Just not going to be
it's just
correct.
It's not the right play on this seed, given what we just saw from Tstew.
Those myths are huge down there in Hype Cave. All right, Thieves Town, Pendant Thieves Town.
You gotta do it. Might as well go through it.
Can fully clear it with the hammer.
Big key in chest number 1, of course. So GFE is gonna head up over to Skull Woods, which means he's gonna have to double up on Skull Woods a little bit later on.
Yes, and in this case, he's going to do the front part of Skull Woods, where Tstew will be able to just go straight to the bag and kill Mothula and work backwards through the dungeon, depending on where the item. We'll get to see a little in advance where these items are. And there's a key.
Tstew finding 50 rupees, GFE finding a map. And a magic cape found for Tstew. That could be something interesting. We don't know what's that bumper cave. And GFE just finding keys here the first half of school.
Now it also means the spike cave's in logic.
And there's the map check for GFE. If I'm GFE, my next stop here is heading to Thieves Town.
Yeah, I would likely leave from here, go south to Thieves Town. Makes sense to me. Oh, the cane makes this room so good.
Yes, it does. Bombos.
That puts Ice Palace on the table if you really want.
Tstew's gonna be.
Fire Rod also does, and I guess GFE it doesn't because he doesn't have the mitts, and he'll get the Fire Rod before the mitts.
That is correct. So Tstew is going to find out information that an important item is inside the Kakariko well. Unfortunately, we already know that.
Tstew also getting to do a little cool thing. If you find the key early in Thieves Town, you can just walk right upstairs. And then get the hint, and then go downstairs and pick up the pot, get the other key, and saves a little bit of time.
Magic Cape is not going to be required, it's just for a piece of heart.
Oh, and the bombs are not wanting to cooperate with Tstew and the attic. There we go.
3 bombs to open up that hole right there. We're going to go ahead and see what's inside of the sea houses. I don't think we saw that from Tstew, because I think he only did the 2 portions of the Village of Outcasts. And it's just 20. Always a great feeling when you go up to one of those telepathic tiles and you get yourself a hint for something you already have or already visited.
It's the best.
You know, it's like Zelda 1, where you end up going through level 8, you find the books inside, and then you purchase a hint that says the book's in level 8. Thank you.
Thanks for the hint. That was perfect.
By the way, plug the Game 3 of the Elimination Finals between Redbird Grad and Jam coming up tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here on Speed Gaming.
Should be super hype. Alright, so what is in the big chest?
Some love.
Blind ripped out the heart and put it in the chat.
Exactly. We're not going to be worried about missing what's in those chats for GFE. We already saw them on Tstew's side. Time to go visit Blind.
Hey, Blind. From what I've heard, that this fight is on rails. I just don't know who the conductor of the train is. Nicely done.
Tstew had to go off the rails just briefly, but he recovered, got the compass, but more importantly, second dungeon down, picks up the red pendant for the trouble.
Not quite a crystal, but needed just the... So Tstew, heading into the C-shaped house, will be picking up that... Then we'll likely see play up to Skullwoods, I would...
And special thanks to Vince Easter, who is our tracker. Just note, GFE does have the bombos, got them inside Skullwood.
Ah, yes, the Bombos medallion. Tstew should be getting that soon. And the hammer pegs.
Mirror! Nice!
Well, that changes a few things up. That's a weird place for the mirror. So you don't really want to go over there without, you know, the smith frog or the picking up the purple chest. But now with the mirror being there, you just, okay, that's...
And you know that the second half of this is unnecessary because we already know what's inside the purple chest.
Yeah, we know that it's money from the hint. What a... Nicely done. Nice use of hints to route in the pegs when you did, because otherwise there would be no reason to come back to that spot, because without the mirror you would just save and quit with the black. So yeah, the hint plays 100% directly into that play.
And so Tstew now making his way over to Skull Woods. We'll have the bombos, but he already has the fire rod, so he's going to be able to complete this dungeon. First, a trip over to... Oh, he's doing the graveyard.
Just gonna check out the rest of the North Dark World while you're here. With the mitts already, you don't have to have Dark World access for King's Tombs. Yeah, it makes sense to go ahead and check above the pose now.
Okay, throw the bomb into the bomb wall there. Let's go ahead and see what's inside. Inside, we find the Lagmarine.
The good one. Hondo Strats, no. Go back. You won it. That's fine. No need or want for a red boomerang today.
You sound sad and depressed about this.
It's the best item in the game that's not named Kana Samaria. It's so good. Hundo Strats in Ganon's Tower are so great.
Sounds like you've had experience. Sounds like you've had some experience with those Hondo Strats.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Gee, if he's about to go pick up his fire rod, he will be making his way over towards Hype Cave, and that will get him his Titan's Mids.
Yeah, that'll get the mitts, which then if you come that way and you have the hammer, you might just go up across the bridge and over towards Pod or to the catfish or something. I don't think your immediate thought is going to be to go back to the hammer pegs to get the mirror. It wouldn't be mine.
So if you are these runners, what's going through your mind at this point?
I think I'm behind, no matter where I'm at, because I always think I'm behind from the game. No, I would think that with the bat being where the moon pearl is, I would be feeling in both counts. Like, you're 40 minutes in, you have 2 dungeons done, you have a bunch of progression, more on Tstew's. But I mean, I'd still be feeling good about the seed. It's not like anything has gone horribly awry on either side.
All right, back section of Skull Woods. We know that an item or the big key to get that item has got to be over here somewhere.
Tstew raining some fiery death down on the monk. While GFE is going to get those mitts and a bunch of other mediocre things. But the mitts are anything but mediocre.
All right, Tstew up against Mothula.
I'll get controlled by spikes. There we go.
Nice finish. And some bombs. That is item number 2. Tstew is done with Skull Woods. GFE is going to find out what's on the pyramid. We have not seen what's on the pyramid.
No, we have not.
And on top of the pyramid today, we see just some rupees. That is a no for me, dog.
Not today.
Can we get some catfish?
Maybe. Do you want like fried or blackened?
Sauteed.
Okay.
Well, actually, that depends on what he drops. If it's something good, then maybe, just maybe, we could actually get some good catfish in here. Otherwise, then we'll just make it some bad grade. Tstew's heading to a spot where there are 6 possible items for him to grab. Maybe even more.
Yeah, if Bombos gets you into Turtle Rock, 100% I would want to dive Turtle Rock.
All right, Catfish, are you something important? Catfish says, I am maybe important. That's the ether.
That could be important. There are 2 dungeons that we have no knowledge on that it could be required. And GFE is coming over here to the mountain now too. Gonna check on the Super Bunny Cave and the Hookshot Cave and the Turtle.
There's some bombs. There's our first shield. Tstew's gonna get us some information real soon. If that is ether to get into Turtle Rock, could this be an advantage for GFE? GFE's been playing kind of a little behind for a while here, as Tstew does pull up the rock, goes inside the Hookshot Cave.
And if it is, like, GFE is going the long way to go on top of Turtle Rock to open. Because no mirror that has where you have to go. Oh,
There's the
bedrock.
quake, and therefore, by rule of how this game works, we are probably going to see the quake be what is required to get into Turtle Rock.
Yes, by the
I
hookshot
think-
cave rule, yes, you're.
And so we will find out
Find
right
out on the
now.
next video.
It is the Ether!
That's huge for GFE. Now, if you're GFE, do you go in right now to Turtle Rock? You know Mimic Cave's not required. You know there's arrows there.
Yeah, you question whether or not you have the ice rod at this point because you don't. He's going to check out Hookshot Cave first, so we'll find out.
I 100% would go into Turtle Rock right now. Every time. And it would lose me the race 2 out of 3 times. And I don't care. I'd still.
You'd still make that choice.
Yes.
Spike Cave, what do you have for us? The
wow. Are you kidding me? What? What a bunch of out of the way locations just having stuff. That's big for Tstew, but especially with the mirror. Unlocks desert with Mire, checkerboard cave. That's another what, 8 items over in that part.
And GFE is not saving and quitting. GFE is heading to Turtle Rock as Tstew activates the Swag Duck.
The only thing now is this gonna draw him away from the Spike Cave play. Hopefully we'll still see Spike Cave after this.
Yeah, at this point, GFE needs to go into Spike Cave. And Tstew is heading on over towards the Misery Mire area. We find a red rupee inside the first chest inside the Turtle Rock.
Alright, so we're gonna see what is Mire.
Mire is yet to be determined. I
couldn't tell if it even showed.
have magic. That's nice to find inside the Misery Mire shed.
Bunch of keys on the right hand side of Turtle Rock. Meanwhile,
so far, 1 small key, 1 big key, and 20 rupees. We know the Chain Chomps is going to have a key because you can't have anything else there at this point.
I hate this room.
Most runners hate this room. This would be a bad spot to die. He
Nicely
doesn't.
done. Now it's free. You got the powder. You can.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure you don't get hit by the anti-fairy first. Alright, here's a question. Are the boots going to be required this seed for a pendant dungeon? The answer is no! Something sharp held by someone friendly. Well, the uncle's someone friendly.
Is he that friendly?
Depends on your definition. Which
By
means
the
that
nature of the game, yes, he is.
which means it is very well possible that the boots could still be on the pedestal at this point.
That is a possibility.
There's the bow and desert.
That is another big find for Tstew.
And that now means that Tstew can finish off the Palace of Darkness and Eastern back to back. So that's probably the next step on the tour. It looks like Tstew is reading this logic a lot better than GFE is at this point, just because GFE hasn't found anything wow at this point.
I mean, he's found the entrance to Turtle Rock with the Ether Medallion. That's pretty...
Yeah, but he needs something very, very big here. He needs to have the flippers. He needs to have Ice Rod here. Ice Rod would be great because then he can finish this dungeon and never have to worry about it ever again.
Ice Rod would be ideal because if you don't get Ice Rod right here and you don't finish the dungeon, then what do you do from Laser Bridge? You save and quit, and you don't go to Spike Cave.
And you don't get that flute.
Because you can't mirror from the back of Turtle Rock to the big... I mean, you can. You just go to the big chest, like, room at the second end.
That's a piece of heart, so we're going to be seeing the Laser Bridge have at least a key. We have yet to get a dungeon item also, so we also know the map and compass are somewhere in there too.
Well, maybe 2 chances, because Trinex might have a map or compass. But
there's the loop ended pickup for Tstew. By the way, Tstew has the ability to beat all 3 pendant dungeons at this point.
no, not quite. We still need flippers.
Oh, flippers, yes, never mind. What the hell am I talking about?
Wait.
I'm still waiting for somebody to glitch that.
Just take some major glitches. They're not quite minor glitches anymore.
Oh, fine. Schematics.
All right, so the big chest in desert. 10 arrows.
10 arrows to go with that bow that you picked up. I say that's a pretty good find. And he's going back to Meyer area, so he does have the medallion, it would appear. Yeah, that's the Quake. There's the key. So mapping key. GFE needs some Ice Rod badly. I have no idea what he just found. Flippers from Turtle Rock!
Well,
and wait, he's continuing on. Did he just get the Ice Rod? He must have gotten the Ice Rod!
And the... No, he doesn't have the Ice Rod. Okay.
No, he's just going for life. Wait a second. Why are you going to Trinex? You don't have the Ice Rod.
Doesn't realize...
Oh, please realize you don't have the Ice Rod.
I mean, it's a save and quit either way. Meanwhile, Tstew and Meyer.
Oh, now he just found out. What?
The realization. So that is going to put GFE away from the flute for a little while longer.
Yeah, he's gonna maybe... I think at this point you're going to Ice Palace.
Straight to ice. That would make sense to me.
Oh, we're probably not heading straight to Ice Palace. I think we're going to be checking the waterfall first.
Oh, right. We didn't see the waterfall earlier because reasons relating to the Moon Pearl being at the
Well, I don't know what he just got, but well, he got some rupees.
Yes,
He
one of them was
put a
money.
bottle in, and he gets a fairy in a bottle. That's not bad.
No, safety is always welcome. Until you're trying to death warp.
Tstew looking, and I think he was wondering if he actually wanted to go down to the cutscene chest.
Yep, decisions,
GFE.
decisions.
Yeah, GFE is heading into Ice Palace. Aim at the eyes of Goma. That's not much of a help here. Thank you, game.
I mean, it's a perfectly good help. And then, no, you're... So, the big chest in Mire. Now we know what the dungeon looks like. So now Tstew going to Vitreous. And one item out of Ice Palace. So now we're going to see the basement, the dark part of Mire.
One item remains, and Tstew is gambling. Whether or not Vitreous has that second and final item.
It's a fine play. I like it.
Some cash is inside the Palace of Darkness. GFE needs the hint that says that the flute is inside the Spike Cave, or something unique items in the Spike Cave.
Has one more chance in this dungeon for hints.
You know what would actually be a good find for GFE right now?
The book.
The book. We need something to get him up to the ether tablet.
That's such a long way to go for ether.
Yeah, but then you can double it up with doing the spike.
Indeed, you can. It does give you 2 locations. Alright, first things first. A Vitreous fight.
Yeah, just keep flailing away around your sword at this point, and your magic doesn't drain quite as fast. And look at him go at this point. And also having half magic doesn't help, and sweet corn on pizza is always a good choice, but not what GFE wants to learn about this seed at this point. Vitreous is down. Did Tstew's gamble go well? It did.
does.
Bombs. Probably the best bombs he'll ever see.
Such a long walk back to that one chest.
Especially the weight.
Yes, the Tom Petty part of the thing is awesome.
Oh, the waiting is the hardest part.
And fluting away straight to 5. Yeah, we knew that was coming.
Yeah, with the bow in hand, you can finish both Eastern and the Palace of Darkness. GFE goes to that chest. What does he find inside? We don't know. GFE must know, but we don't know.
I'll tell you, it wasn't a small key.
I don't think I saw his rupees going up either, so I don't think it was that. He does not have the ice rod in his arsenal, which would be the best find at this point. There's the Cane of Burnup.
Hey, that item is related to Spike Cave. Now it's really in logic. Unfortunately, with no boots, no awesome Kiki dash on the right.
GFE heading to the big chest. finds that he doesn't have a big key for that big chest.
Well, that would be problematic. And a small key in the first chest of pods. So even without this boat, we can do things.
Yeah, that we can. Tstew with the bow in hand. It'd be a little more problematic for GFE just because it's taking him away from where he needs to go. Where GFE needs to go? He needs to go to the pegs to get the mirror. That's the first major thing he needs to do. He also needs to get back to Spike Cave because that is where the flute is.
Both of those things are huge.
I agree with you, Clifford. And an hour and 1 minute in. Let's restate the major importance about this race. GFE, a win here, eliminates Zyrak, who's playing a little bit later on against Leslie Pro. A win here clinches him at least a share of a qualifying spot. Yep. Unique items in the sewers.
Hey.
No kidding.
We talked about how unique the hammer was when we found it.
A win by Tstew keeps Zyrak in the running for now. So, what ends up happening out of this race? This has some major group implications. We could see a three-way tie still. Pika sitting on the top for right now. Banta, 1/2 game back, but still has to play that one final game.
And should Tstew win this one, that would guarantee Pika Pals through to the...
You are right.
And
nice fight against the puffy clouds of Cold Stare to get a key, which means the Cane of Samaria was required by logic to beat this dungeon.
Where we're going, we don't need logic. We have bomb jumps and dark room strats, all sorts of crazy things. Speaking of, are we going to see the bomb jumps? No, we're not.
Where's Tstew going to? Starting at the Sanctuary. Oh, I have no idea where GFE is going at this point, but he is out of dungeons he can go to at this point. That he can beat, that is.
Nothing great in the dark rooms, basement of...
Keys everywhere. Not an item to drop. See? That's the map.
So the items are all hiding over here. On the left-hand side.
Could GFE be doing the trading sequence with the breadsmiths? Could he be going to Peg Cave?
He's going back to Skull.
It looks like he's going to Skull because he's got to finish that off. Yes.
Get the bombs off Mothula too.
That's right. I forgot he had not finished that off just yet. Piece of heart right there to enhance Tstew's life.
There's that fourth piece of that sank heart. Get the refill. That's how you know.
20 rupees is inside the big chest, and the search for the ice rod continues. Everybody loves that ice rod.
Everyone. Except for Trinex. Trinex hates it.
Wouldn't that be awful if the ice rod turns out to be in Swamp?
That would be the absolute best case scenario for GFE right now.
Well, it would be, but still, the fact that you have to double dip Turtle Rock like that.
That would be... That's, I mean, it's better than, you know, Pendant Turtle Rock and it being at Moldorm 2, like you were saying. Not much better, but it's better.
We do know
what about
that
the old man? Like, it could be on Sahasrara. after you beat Swamp.
That is correct. It could be on the pedestal.
So many dumb things that could require the flippers.
Dumb things?
Yeah, dumb things. Like, like the ice rod on the pedestal. That's what I call a dumb thing.
As a runner, you call it dumb. As a commentator, you call it glorious.
I mean, those words aren't mutually exclusive. So, GFE needs to get the mirror to be able to go into Swamp.
He needs the mirror to be able to go into Swamp. He needs the flute to go into Mire. He needs that mirror to go into Desert to get the bow.
I hope we see, at this point, a hammer pegs, then pick up the smith. Because I'm not sure where else he could be walking towards from here.
Yeah, he's not saving and quitting, so that means he has something else in mind at this point.
Has seen everything else there is to see in the North Dark World, so has to be going back to town.
Almasar King is down for Tstew. What are we gonna find? A compass. Yay!
A compass, yes, but that is the second of 2 red crystals for Tstew.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Did we find all 3 items inside Eastern, by the way, or are we still withstanding an item? And GFE is taking the frog, but he's going to go to the pegs. This is going to actually pay out for GFE. He doesn't know it at this point.
This is good. There is 1 item still on the Armos Knights also. It was map, compass, big key in the first 3. And so here is the mirror for GFE. Nicely done. We'll just get to hit the button. Bring the smith home.
The button.
Yep. The Y button at that.
Ooh, that not the Y button.
It's a good button.
Why?
Now. Why indeed.
And now what?
Now we're going to see Swamp from GFE, right? Like, there's no way you're going to Spike Cave over your newly acquired Swamp Palace that you got to from your flippers on Laser Bridge. There's no way. Right?
I don't know. I do think we're going to probably see a couple of mirror spots here for GFE, which is going to cost him a little bit of time. But in the long run, I would have to assume Swamp is going to be the play. The play.
I just see no way that you go to Spike Cave before Swamp at this point. Go to Swamp, you hope for your ice rod.
Rough fight with the Armos Knights here, but we'll tackle him down. Piece of heart to pick up for Tstew. And that will give him his 7th dungeon complete.
And that's a good clip at an hour 9.
Absolutely. Flute time. Are we fluting to 4? Yes, we are. It's time to pick up the Pyramid Bomb. I think. Maybe. Yep, there we go. He is walking in that direction.
Both runners are going through the same warp. One's going to go north, one's going to go south.
Who's going north and who's going south?
Well, it's going to be Tstew going south and GFE going north because they're doing the opposite of what we're expecting.
I like the break pattern play here. Because look at that, they did exactly do what you said, Clifford, but not exactly the way you were expecting. Just
Not
the fact
even
that
at all.
Tstew went south and then GFE went north. And GFE is picking up a shovel!
That's smart. Tstew can't get that shovel, so that's smart play by GFE.
Red Rupee.
Alright, so now, Tstew with the hook shot in hand. Getting bounced around a bit. Heading back towards the bomb shop.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Yes, he is.
I mean, at least towards the bomb shop. It might not be to the bomb shop. In the general direction.
GFE is going to go check the K45 area, which we just saw from Tstew. He's also going to see what that shovel yield.
Yep. We'll get to check them both off at the same time. That's a nice play.
Question is for Tstew, with what he gets inside of this pyramid, does he go to Catfish after?
I think you have to.
You almost have to. 10 arrows for the shovel, so shovel does not yield anything interesting.
Unless there's something, like, huge inside the pyramid.
And at this point, what could be huge inside the pyramid? Not that blue goo, I'll tell you that much.
For all the family. So, now we're getting to see the pyramid, and yeah, we're gonna go see Cat. You either have to check it here, pretend he doesn't exist, and that you're gonna lose the race if it's something.
And he will get the ether, which will point him in the direction of Turtle Rock, which has the flippers inside to get into where GFE is about to go to, Swamp Palace.
Yeah, because based on the world and what we've seen of it, the ice rod has to be locked behind Swamp Palace.
There really is not another way around at this point. But it doesn't have to be in Swamp Palace. There are two possibilities for it. Unique items in Lost Woods.
You know what that means? Get your
that means
pedestal hype in chat.
About the pedestal. Now, I will say one thing. There has got to be a hint about the boots. It doesn't have to say precisely the boots. May that be the hint that we're talking about.
But with the 2 red rupees also in the Lost Woods, there is definitely something on the pedestal.
But what is it?
Have we seen the single arrow? I think we've seen the single arrow. So.
Have we?
I don't remember, honestly. I'll be completely honest. I don't remember.
We're 73 minutes into the seed. I haven't remembered an arrow either, so I don't know.
But it could be that ice rod.
It could be that arrow. It could be that ice rod.
Could be the razor blades.
Are silver arrows considered unique?
I think so, aren't they? I thought they were. If they're not, then my apology.
Either pick up for Tstew, he's heading up to the mountain.
And now the south loop chest here in Swamp.
Maybe.
No, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. I believe. Maybe.
10 arrows. No.
So now we have to hope in exercises of not flooding. It's pretty easy. You just don't push the lever before you get the key. What do you think? Do you think they should randomize those pegs? Do you think the peg order would add to the randomizer?
No.
Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't.
That'd be like Zelda 1 changing the up, left, down, left.
Oh, that would be... Now that would be great.
He kind of is for the fishes. I didn't notice that the first time GFE was in.
That's so good. I love great hints like that.
I love hints that require the item to get that hint.
By the way, that ether medallion. Yeah. Cool spot for it, wasn't it?
Hee hee hee.
It's like V-Torp's winking at you.
Well, something was in the big key location. I don't know what, but something was.
I am willing to bet it wasn't the boot.
What makes you think that? Maybe GFE is just walking slowly for our entertainment.
There's Tstew's keys.
Silver arrows inside the swamp big chest.
Alright, I'm gonna... I don't remember. So I'm just gonna say that's good. Once the bow is found, that'll be even better.
Tstew's gonna have to be careful. Down to 3 hearts. Does have a fairy in a bottle, I do believe.
I believe that's GFE from the waterfall. He has a blue potion.
Okay, it was GFE.
From,
never mind. Yep, you're right.
Does he have a blue potion from somewhere? Maybe.
Tstew does have a blue potion he got from the pyramid. There's a mushroom. How great! What a fun guy.
Now we can fake powder and get the moon. Wait.
You're a little behind on that one.
So, fetch Quest City after here. And no flute to make it quick.
If only GFE had a flute. That flute being inside the spike cave. Tstew, if only he had some flippers. Those flippers he will find soon enough, in about 5 minutes from now.
Just about. A little less, not having to actually go to Mimic Cave.
Yep, we know that 10 arrows was inside Mimic Cave, so it made that absolutely unnecessary. GFE is facing off against Jargus right now. Let's see this fight finish off. There is something going on.
Argus is dead and has a fire shield.
Yes, he does. But more importantly, he also has the green pendant for GFE. Where does GFE go from here? The problem is he may turn in that green pendant. He may also go to the Palace of Darkness. Palace of Darkness is not beatable by him.
There's all sorts of good places to go. They're all far away. Ah, here we are. We're gonna see a mushroom turn in because right here, why not? You can just take this.
What was this you're talking about? No flute?
Yeah, dude. Who needs flutes?
GFE says, "Who needs a flute?" I know how the whirlpools work. But it's no guarantee we're going to get the ice rod. The book is still outstanding, the boots are still outstanding, and they do yield items. GFE finds the mushroom, yields the ice rod. There it is.
That's ridiculous.
A double dip required of Turtle Rock, and Tstew will have his flippers in due time.
Yep, Tstew will almost have the flippers. GFE now.
So next stop for GFE. He is not going to go back to Turtle Rock. He has absolutely no reason to do so at this point. There's the flippers, fine for Tstew. And there's the compass. So that means Trinex does have an item. This game sucks.
It's fine. It's a seed is fine. GFE is heading over towards pod now, which will yield a lot of nothing. Unfortunately. Tstew's going straight to Ice Palace. So we will see a full clear of this dungeon.
And it's a forceful clear of Turtle Rock, or rather of Swamp Palace, because you don't know until you grab that mushroom what's going to happen. There's the rupees for GFE. T2 is going to be picking up his stuff out of the waterfall. Ends up getting his ferry in just a second, and GFE is heading to the Palace of Darkness, which is a bad situation for GFE because we know the bow is not in here. A reminder of the stakes of this race. GFE wins. It eliminates Tstew. Tstew's already eliminated. It eliminates Zyrak. A Tstew win keeps Zyrak in the mix, and it pushes Pika Pals through to the bracket. What a great race we have on this Monday evening here. Clifford, it's been a lot of fun so far. What would you like to see? So GFE making his way through the Palace of Darkness, and at some point in time he's not going to be able to finish this off. Unfortunately, the book's still outstanding. We will never find out what's on that pedestal either. I don't think, unless Tstew decides to blind pull it before he trades in that mushroom.
Can you imagine if it's the book on the pedestal? That would just...
In the old news department, Tstew finds out that some cash is inside the Palace of Darkness.
I wonder if GFE is going to find it.
I suppose so. GFE is going to pull the bottle glitch at this point, so this will get him the stuff on the second floor after he's done with this room here. Picks up the key and such, makes his way upstairs, or rather back to start by way of mirror. The bow still yet to be seen.
Oh, Bo's sweating out there in the desert where it's hot.
If only he had a flute to help cool it down.
If only. Walk the path of pain to get that. And
We are going to see a hammer jump, though. It wasn't pulled successfully by GFE, but if at first you don't succeed, try again. Or just not and just walk the bridge.
both are valid options at this point. And the map. Not quite what we want to see here. But it's something all the same. Now Tstew knows what Ice Palace looks like and just how many levels there are to the thing.
And gee, if he can do the same with the Palace of Darkness now, and maybe he can frame it later on.
Sometimes you want a memento for your into the dark. Oh, and Tstew getting bodied by that fire bar a little bit.
But he does do the hookshot grab and ends up heading downstairs. Walks past the big chest, does not have the big key at this point. GFE is out of options. The Palace of Darkness is indeed dark in terms of progression. GFE's heading to the mountain. But with the ice rod, does that mean he's finishing this dungeon off first? And then heading to Spike. Yes, it is. He is going to finish this off. He's got to do Spike after he's done with this. That is his only hope at this point. Tstew is already in a position where he can go mode and probably in about 6 or 7 minutes, depending on where he goes at. And I say that, but Tstew has very limited options where he can go as it is.
Yeah, he's finished most everything else. The Swamp Palace is finishable and on the way. That's next place to go. What was on the right-hand side of desert?
Yep. And the only way to get to that bow was by way of the flute, which was in Spike Cave, and the mirror.
Which was in Hammerpegs, because of course it was.
Hobo gives us the bloomerang. Tstew says, yeah, thanks. GFE's about to go to Trinex. I mentioned earlier about the book being a good case scenario. At this point for GFE, the book is one of the worst case scenarios. Because he needs to get into Spike Cave.
Yes, immediately.
My only question at this point is, what does Tstew do when he is done with Swamp? He will have 3 options open to him. He will have number 1, trade in the green pendant to Sahasrara. Number 2, trade in the mushroom. And number 3, pull the pedestal.
And with the hint of the unique item in Lost Woods. Depending on if he got the hint.
we know it's not at Sahasrara. A unique item is in the Lost Woods. There's the hint for Tstew. So now he probably is thinking the pedestal.
Definitely be right on my brain. And now, Trinex.
We know Trinex is going to have an item. What item will Trinex have? Again, worst case scenario for GFE would be it has the book. Actually, let me say this. I think actually the boots might be the worst case scenario, because then he'll be thinking King's Tomb. He'll be thinking Bonk Rocks. He won't be thinking
gets you in desert.
Spike.
Well, let's find out.
Trinex has 10 arrows. And there's the crystal find there for GFE. So now, if he goes to Spike Cave, he will be back to having what Tstew knows. And he is heading in that direction. So GFE is going to be picking up his flute real soon. This seed... Ooh, Tstew, is he gambling on this dungeon? Well, this is interesting. He may come back in later to check those remaining spots, but he may be fixated on that path right now by way of going straight to Argus. And Silver Arrows is not a huge difference, but it is a tiny difference.
At this point, it saves less time than it takes to get the big key from the left side.
There's the flute pickup for GFE. GFE's going to save and quit, and he'll go ahead and activate that flute, and then make his way on over to Misery Mire and Desert. Also, don't forget, we still have to deal with Aghanim. There's the mushroom pickup for T. So this seed is going to come to an end with the final stops being Ganon's Tower, and then the 4-minute walk up to go visit our friend Aghanim.
Hey, I just killed you and your 3 clones, or your 2 clones. That's my impression of a runner walking into Aga 1 after his tower.
So what does chat think is the unique item on the pedestal? Is it something like the boots, the book? Have we even seen the bug catching net?
No, we haven't. Thanks to the convenient mirror, Tstew.
Nice kill of the Argus right there for Tstew. He'll pick up the shield for his reward, and then GFE will head and get some potions, it looks like, at this point, and then make his way into Mire as well as Desert. Tstew finished off with Swamp. Does he go back in? Does he trade in that green pennant?
We're going to see a flute to 3 right now.
Flute to 3, you think? Let's find out. Flute to 3. There it is. Get your pedestal hypes in. Let's do this.
So, we know it's unique. How useful is it going to be?
GFA heading into desert. We'll have the bow real soon. Tstew pulling the pedestal and finding that it is the boot. Gotta go fast. And bonk.
Perfect time for a good bonk right after you get the boot. And that means that even the key in Ganon's tower being on the torch cannot stop Tstew now, as long as he turns in the mushroom.
It is going to send Tstew on a little bit of a side trek here by way of King's Tomb as well as the Bonk Rocks. Gets 300 rupees inside, and we'll head on over to the Bonk Rocks perhaps. There's the bow pickup for GFE. So now Tstew heading on over towards the Bonk Rocks. When will he trade in that mushroom? There's the big key for GFE. And he's heading right straight to the Lamolas.
Yep, outside of the boots, GFE is now in go mode. Also. With that, with the bow, so can quickly run through things.
So Tstew, if he flutes to 2, he'll have his eyes rod soon. There he goes, fluting to 2. He will have the trade-in of the mushroom. A couple of screen transitions away, and at 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 5 seconds, Tstew, the first of these 2 runners, into
Go mode.
That is right.
And we're going to see a Lanmolas fight coming up on the left-hand side.
With silver arrows and half magic and the fire rod.
Just like in vanilla. Oh, I blinked and everything's dead.
And that completes the 3rd of the pendant dungeons for GFE. But GFE is also in go mode. You know, I didn't make that mention, but he is in go mode. In fact, he was the first of these 2 to go actually be in go mode, but Tstew has a lot more done. 1 more dungeon to beat. GFE's pulling the pedestal.
Also knowing there's a unique item there.
So he will get the boots. So both of these runners will have no stopping them now.
Nope, it'll be a full-on run to the finish, which does give the advantage of 3 dungeons complete. I guess 2 dungeons completed to Tstew at this point.
Yeah, GFE is going to have to go through Pod. He's already beaten most of it. He's got to go through Eastern. He's got to go through Misery Mire. Both of these runners still have to do Aghanim. But that's still just a 4-minute, pretty much a cutscene at this point. There are the boots for GFE. Tstew in Turtle Rock. This is going to be a fast path through here for Tstew, and then he'll be on to Ganon's tower. So let's have some fun, Clifford.
That's what we've been doing, right?
Exactly. We are now nearing the penultimate day of the group portion of this tournament. And this group has the potential of still having a 3-way tie with a winner takes all in 2 brackets.
Yeah, there could be a 3-way tie no matter which way things fall in this. If GFE wins, then it's a 3-way. It could be a 3-way tie for first place. If it with the loss, it could be a 3-way tie for second.
And if that 3-way tie develops, who knows? But Pika Pals, if Tstew wins, Pika Pals is in brackets. And Pika Pals was the number 5 qualifier in this group out of the 6.
Like the top seed or the like the fifth?
No, he was the fifth of the 6 people in this group.
Okay. Interesting.
Just because you have a rough go through qualifiers does not mean you have no chance. You make it into the main body of this tournament. Tstew almost pulled it off, the double hit there, but unfortunately had to reset the crystal switch. Tstew about to head to Trinex.
And we know Trinex is only gonna hand out garbage, but
doesn't matter at this point. Tstew's doing this, and he's getting ready to head to Ganon's tower.
The GFE is gonna get the big key here shortly in the fire alarm.
And so GFE about to go pick up that big key, and then he'll go right straight to Vitreous, which will save him a little bit of time because he won't have to go digging through other things. But Tstew, done! Stretches out just a little bit. Hey, you might as well stretch out before you're heading on over to Ganon's tower because we're about to play a game. Clifford! What is this game we're about to play?
There's a game. There are a bunch of chests in Ganon's tower. 22 of one of them has the big key. If you guess in chat where it's at, then you're right, and you are a subscriber to Speed Gaming or a supporter, then you'll get your name on the fancy leaderboard. So be sure
the fancy leaderboard.
Yeah, the fanciest of leaderboards. It's not quite 2 leaderboards fancy, but it's one good leaderboard that is pretty. So be sure to get your guesses in, because once he walks into the building, we'll stop the game.
Nice spooky action glitch there for GFE.
Nicely done. That's why you get those boots, so you can do spooky things.
Oh, indeed. Here we go. GT. Clifford. What's in chest 1 and 2?
Butter. And a small key, which means the big key's on the right-hand side by law. No, that's not what the logic means, but I always will go right if I get that small key, because why not? There's 4 items over there. What? That's not what you want to do. Be lying if I said that. So,
whoops, wrong item. Ooh, Tstew getting battered around here. Gonna have to hurry. Gets in there in time.
Makes it perfect. Nicely done. Meanwhile, Meyer is over in a flash for GFE with the silver arrows. Vitreous just falls away.
Tstew is acting like he's a little nervous at this point. There's the red mail, so just a little further away from where it normally is in Ganon's tower.
All right, no big key over on the right hand side.
It could still be on the right side, Clifford.
I guess it could, but that
could it be on the torch? It is not. It's 3 bombs.
Could have been fitting. The key on the torch would have been.
So coming up next, we have chest number 8 inside of the Staffos room. 8, 9, 10, and 11. Eight, no. 9 is a small key. 10 is a 20 rupee, and now looks like he may have to kill inside of this room. So let's go ahead and kill some Staffos to get the bug net in chest number 11.
You were asking about that earlier.
Yes, I was. It was in Ganon's tower the whole time.
The whole time? Hey!
There it is, number 12. If you guess number 12, you are a winner. Clifford! What did they win?
They win a cool spot on the fancy leaderboard. And my begrudging respect.
Your what?
Begrudging respect.
Our tracker. Our tracker was the closest with 11.
GG. GG, Vince.
Shoutouts to Kinghorn with 9. 9 wins, that is.
Oh, wow. It's a lot of wins.
3 more than second place. My goodness.
So, Helmasaur King.
Well, it is Helmasaur King. He does wear a mask.
I hear they call him the king because he eats runs for lunch.
I thought he was the king because he ate Burger King.
No, it's a totally different king, and he's equally as creepy in the commercial.
That's Elvis Presley.
Yeah, you got me. He's also pretty creepy in these commercials these days. Usually, I don't even know if it's him anymore, if it's just some guy that looks like him.
He just wants a little less conversation, a little more action.
Well, action you're about to get with Land Molus 2 all coming up at once.
Nice little spin right there. And with doing that spin means you're going to be guaranteed 2 cycle. Come on, there we go. Perfect. Tstew, good job.
Maskasaur King does have a good ring to it, though.
I have chat sizing me for making the comment that I made about Elvis Presley and a particular song that he did. What do you want me to do? Reference the King of Pop?
Oh, that guy's just bad.
You know it. Tstew almost done with the 5th floor of Ganon's tower. 1 hour 48:16. This could be a sub 2 for Tstew, which is not bad for what has been a all dungeon seed.
For an all dungeon seed with things where they are out. All of the out of the way locations.
What do you feel gave Tstew the advantage in this seed at this point?
Getting the mirror right then. Really going into the Dark World from the south. Getting the mitts, being able to pull all that together. Getting the Fire Rod. Getting just the route from the south to the north, I believe, is the huge difference in today's.
And it's unbelievable that one difference could make such an impact on this race, but it did, especially considering the fact that Titan's Mitt, there's the single arrow.
Yep, we found it. You were right, we hadn't seen it.
I'm sure glad that Tstew ended up going into that final chest then.
Gotta get the unique item. You wanted a unique item there, you got a unique item. Just wasn't the ice rod today.
So GFA is finished off with Eastern, about to go and head on over to the Ganon's Tower. Tstew does not have the silver arrows. However, the difference between these two runners at this point in time, it's very seldom going to make a difference unless Tstew has a huge issue with the Ganon fight coming up.
I don't think we're going to be seeing huge issues with Ganon. I think if you made it into this tournament, you should be able to handle Ganon.
Absolutely. But before we deal with Ganon, there's one last step on Tstew's to-do list. We have not done all dungeons yet, Clifford.
No, we have not. And if we don't want to get called a dingus, we probably should get all the dungeons before fighting.
And there's the mirror pull out there for Tstew as he heads on over to deal with the Aghanim. And I like to usually ask this question when we have an Aghanim seed. How many blue balls do you think Aghanim is going to throw our runners today? Both runners are going to get the same amount of blue balls from Aghanim. How many do you think he is going to get?
15.
Why do you have to be so rude to these runners?
Because I want to see it on stream. I want to see it happen.
You want to see a 15 blue ball fight, don't you?
Like, in my hundo runs, I live for a 15 blue ball fight, just so it can be true. So, why not true all dungeons, right? Get all 15 blue balls for the full experience.
No, Aghanim 1 does not drop anything. He unlocks what is inside the lumberjack tree, which we know is a bottle in this seed. However, this is all dungeons. In order to beat Ganon, in order to be able to strike damage to Ganon in stage 4, you have to be Aghanim 1.
The gold sword really just makes this formality of walking through doors. Like those guys with the master sword take three or four hits. Just cutting them down. GFE is going to continue with these Dark Magician strats, which is going to put him away from the big key in the firebar. Tstew and the guard both taking a fall in the corner. The guard was really overzealous in chasing down Link, just dove off the side after him. Oh yeah, and there's Zelda. Zelda is being banished to crystal number 7. Goodbye, Zelda.
Which she already has.
Yeah, now just banished into the pocket of Link or something. All right, so that one, the first one after each cycle, always going to be reflected. All right,
Blue ball 1.
Stream's alive. The dream is dead.
No.
Dream has died.
He teased you to miss a few shots. There's blue balls 2. So that's the guaranteed. That one, unfortunately, is not a blue ball, Clifford. That one is.
Are we gonna get to stick on with 3? We are.
And there is the final orb tossed to Aghanim's way. Tstew, done with the Aghanim fight, now to face off against Ganon.
No need to even be called a ding.
He's just gonna have a delicious whole grain breakfast created from your insides, or created for your insides, or whatever that's saying.
One than the other. Taking a little bit of damage, but
yeah, getting those 6 hits in, getting him into stage 3 immediately. Pulls out the bow. Does not have the silver arrows. Goes to the fire rod. Getting ready to do the torch glitch. Which isn't quite as stressful when we have half magic. There's the final hit. The silver arrows are in Swamp Palace. And there is the torch, and does not get the torch glitch. So that'll create a little bit more stress at this point. Wisely waits for the other one to go unlit. Watch out for the bat! Oh, that was close. Ooh, takes a hit from the bat right there, but does not propel him backwards. That's one thing you have to worry about when you deal with the bats. And it looks like that Tstew's a little unraveled, not getting the torch glitch.
Yeah, the missing the torch glitch can definitely frazzle your phase 4.
He should still have a blue goo in his arsenal, so he should be fine.
Yeah, between a blue potion and all the magic.
All he needs to do is get 12 spins on Ganon to finish this fight off. Comfortable lead here for Tstew, but he doesn't know it. Probably one more cycle I think he needs to do before Ganon is down. One more hit, perhaps. Yeah, there it is. And Tstew keeps Zyrax race alive, and Pika Pals will advance to the brackets with the win over GFE.
GG to Tstew.
And Tstew finishing with an official SRL time of 1:57 and 10 seconds.
As GFE heads into the Moldorm 2. Turned out to be a pretty close race, all things considered.
It was. These two were not super far back. But the earlier mirror, the earlier fire rod, allowed Tstew to route this a little bit better than GFE did.
So with that said, let's see GFE's take on the Aghanim 2 fight. Nice double.
Nice, yeah, nice double to start things off. Sadly, just barely missed on a double there. There's one missed a double there as well. I think he's sitting at 5 right now. Yep, now he's at 5. There we go. He's down.
And now it's a quick mirror to the light world, and then up the tower again for a quick 3 blue ball fight. And with silver arrows, gold sword, fire rod, all these things, this will be a very quick trip. The Dwarven Swordsmiths.
And we never saw where that book was, Clifford.
No, we did not.
At this point, it had to be the Rando room or the big chest.
Yep. not anywhere else it can be.
So, with this, once again, we know that Pika Pals has qualified for brackets. But there still is the potential for a three-way tie for second place. At this point, it comes down to what's going on in Zyrak's race against Leslie Pro. If Zyrak wins out, we have a three-way tie for second place.
Does Zyrak have to play Bonta? Is that a thing that still
Actually,
has?
no, that's right. We have a yeah, that's right. It is Zyrak versus Bonta.
Oh, that is going to be the hype race to keep eyes on. Oh, hey, look. I think we have our winner. Let's get Tstew in here. Hello. Good game.
Hello.
This was the difference between going in one portal or the other portal when you got Dark World access. You chose South versus North. Why was
I just always go Hype Cave first if I have mitts and.
That makes sense. I also try to go Hype Cave first if I don't have access to the village right off. Like, it's so slow to go through the hammer warp.
your opponent ended up going North Portal, you went South Portal, you got the Titan's Mitsu, and also the Fire Rod, so you were able to pretty much route yourself a little bit better, but one item made a big difference between you two for probably a good 25-30 minutes of this seed. The flute in Spike Cave.
Yeah, the flute was pretty big. Led you straight to the bow. Since you already had the mirror at that point also. The mirror was a big find early for you. Because you had the mitts to be able to get to the hammer pegs. Whereas GFE went through the North Warp first and didn't get the mitts until Hype Cave, so missed the hammer pegs the first time through.
Yeah, getting mirror was probably one of the bigger advantages, because DFE probably didn't go back and get that for a while.
No, it took he'd already done all of Turtle Rock before, and got he got the catfish and got the ether early and full cleared Turtle Rock to get the flippers, and then went and did other things like Ice Palace.
And what a nasty seed this was to force you into a double dip of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying to find the flippers and not the ice shroud on Laser Bridge. But the only dungeons I double dipped was T-Rock and East. Not that bad.
Yeah, and Turtle Rock was a forced double dip because of the ice rod being where it was on the mushroom. So GG to you. GFE finishes off this seed, and it's going to be a 7.5 minute win here for Tstew. So my question to you, were you nervous walking up that tower because you were wondering where GFE could have been in this run?
Not that much. I knew he couldn't be that much ahead of me because there was not much time to be gained, just like the Eastern double dip.
And now, let's see if we can get GFE in here too. hello, GG.
Thanks.
How about those boots?
That's just the second seed in a row I've had that.
That's rough. What a beating.
Yeah, I've actually had 4 unique items on PED in my past 4 matches. 3 of them were required.
That's
Well, 2 of them were required.
ridiculous.
And so one of the things that we were making mention to Tstew just a moment ago, this seed, one interesting move at the gaining of the Dark World kind of painted a path for the remainder of the seed, and that was who went north and who went south. And it turned out with the Titan's Myth being in the Hype Cave, Tstew went what was the better path for this seed by going south.
Yep, he got the myths first, came up to the village after getting the fire rod, got the mirror right before Skullwoods, got to do it all in one big swath where you had to come back a couple of times to clear off things.
Yeah, that also explains why he didn't get before he was on Dark Death Mountain.
Yes, the first time to Dark Death Mountain for Tstew did not have the ether for the catfish. And so that's when he got the flute too, super early compared to you, because he didn't dip Turtle Rock like you did. Of course, then you got the flippers and things were looking... It was crazy.
Yeah,
this was the... Go ahead.
Yeah, having that ether medallion and then T-Rock if I could. Spike Cave, but not finding Ice Rod in there.
Yep,
Full way to go back.
Yeah, you can't get back to it without, that's just a rough spot.
So that meant a double dip of pod. I actually almost chose to go back to T-Rock and pod, but seemed like a bad idea.
For what turned out to be a 4 double dip dungeons for you, it still is a respectable 7-minute difference between you two. So it's just one of the situations where you chose what you felt was the right path, and today it wasn't the right path, but who knows? With your current record, you're going to be watching a couple of matches very, very carefully to see if you can't get your way into brackets.
Yeah, it's out of my hands now. With my loss, Zyrak is still in it. If he wins out and beats Bonta, we'll still have a 3-way tiebreak for the second spot.
Yeah, but either way, you've still got at least one more race to go. But whether it's in the brackets or in a race-off, we'll see how the remainder of Group H goes.
Bonta wins against Zyrak in his last match. He and Pika are in.
Yep, that is correct. So you're holding out for Zyrak to bop Bonta and put you into at least a 2-way tiebreaker, if not a 3-way.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect to even be in this position. My goal was to be 8-7, and that was a lofty goal. Ended 9-5 with a chance for brackets, just with that.
Hey, as long as you're having fun, right? That's the most important.
Yeah, and if I don't make brackets, I can actually win again.
That's such a thing. Like, running in these tournaments takes so much time between just running the races and just all the prep work going into it on practice and everything.
Yeah, it's a great community though. our group, even though it's been a bloodbath, is still fun with it. Bonta's had a rough time these past several matches, but I'm sure he'll come out of that.
And now at this point, you will turn and see what's going on with the Zyrak Leslie Pro match that is. At this point, I believe it's in progress.
Yeah, they're going right now.
And any final words for both of you runners?
I'll just thank you guys for the commentary. I really look forward to hearing what you two had to say when I saw this team. To the tracker and the Speed Gaming crew, as always.
And Tstew?
Thank you guys as well, and good game, GFE. Hope you get a chance at a tiebreaker.
Yeah, GG, man. It's always fun to play spoiler, so...
So with that being said, at this point, once again, Pika Pales has clinched his spot into brackets with a 10-5 record. Who will be joining Pika Pales? Well, it's still up to either Bonta, GFE, or Zyrak. We'll see how the remainder of Group H goes as we move to the final 3 days of the group stage of this tournament. All right, that's going to do it for us. Hey, Clifford, a lot of fun.
It was. Always is a pleasure. Thanks for having me on with you and stuff. And thanks for everybody for watching. And mostly
Absolutely.
thanks to you guys for running for us, because we couldn't talk about this if you guys weren't doing the thing for us to talk about. So thanks to y'all. And
also a big shout out to Vince Easter, who not only won the big key guessing game, but was our tracker for this race. Stay tuned. We do have more Link to the Past Randomizer coming up. There are 2 races in progress right now, and one of them is going to be on Speed Gaming 1. That should be wrapping up soon, as McLagan faces off against ALG Andy in a swordless hard Randomizer. Oh god. Over on Speed Gaming 5, we have Matt facing off against DK's89. Over on Speed Gaming 3 is the really, really long-a-thon, and more Link to the Past Randomizer coming up tomorrow at 10:30, 3:30, 6:30, 10:30, and 11:30 here on the Speed Gaming channels. Plus also some other great things coming on your way on the Speed Gaming channels tomorrow, including the Super Metroid and Link to the Past Randomizer combo matches at 3:30 and 7 o'clock. Plus also the Zelda 1 Randomizer Game 3 of the Elimination Finals between Redbird Grad and Jam. Game 3 winner moves on to face Crystal Saver. That's coming up 9 o'clock tomorrow. And also the Zelda 2 Randomizer Weekly Race and Metroid Zero Mission Portal, all that good stuff. So I'm Adirondack Rick. Clifford, send us on out of here, won't you?
I think I can do that. For all of us here at Speed Gaming and behind the scenes and everybody running, and thanks for watching. Everyone, y'all have a great night, morning, whatever time it is and whatever part of the world you're in. Have a great night and be well to one another.